When I walk through a jam, no one knows who I am. Put your head on my chest, and I'm Mr. Success. Never closed me a deal. All at once I'm a wheel. Just your head on my chest.
Welcome to the Inevitable Radio Show. We're in the middle of a series of shows called Business Greatness. Business greatness is a recipe. It's a strategy. It's a way of thinking. Most people are built to avoid failure. Studies and research in neurosciences show over 90% of humans on this planet are built psychologically, neurologically, to avoid failure. That is not success, ladies and gentlemen. It may make you above average, because if you're really, really great at avoiding failure, you'll have above average success. That is not greatness. That is above average success. And if that's your target, that's what you'll get. Ask yourself this question. Are you focused? Are you focused on creating magic? And for many of you, the answer is no. You have your New Year's resolutions, and you have them generally year in and year out. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to make some more money. I'm going to get out of debt. I'm going to work on my relationship. I'm going to be a better person. Blah, blah, blah. That is not success. And you definitely don't build it. The recipe cards that you pull out of your recipe deck, the strategies that you select from the available ways of thinking and processing your day, your data points, your truth, your life, the strategies that you select are not built to create magic. Now, if you're not selecting magic, what is the possibility that you're going to create magic? And the answer is, my father used to say, slim to none, and Slim just got on a horse and left town. You don't have a chance. If you choose to create magic, if you choose greatness, now you got a fighting chance. And if you screw up greatness, what do you get? You get two things. You get not greatness in that moment, and so whether you record that as a failure or a lesson, the second thing you get is the learnings and the aftermath, and now one of two recipe cards, one of two neural strategies will be selected. You've gone for greatness, you've missed it. It's a failure, it's a mistake. Something bad has happened to you. And here is one of the very simple truths that separate champions, superstars, winners, the top 10% from the rest of the population. They make the same mistakes you do. They do. They screw up. And in fact, when you think about it, and this is counterintuitive, it's one of the reasons why most people fear their greatness. The mistakes you make are whoppers. They're doozies. They are knucklehead things that you do at a cataclysmic, ginormous level. But here's the difference. When a champion makes a mistake, they pull the lesson from it and say to themselves, wow, I just got something that's going to help my greatness. I'm one step closer to being greater. A champion will make a whopper, make a doozy, screw something up monumentally, and the recipe or strategy card they select is, wow, I'm one step closer to my greatness. Everybody else, the other 90%, make the same mistake, and frequently smaller, because they didn't go for greatness, they didn't go for magic, they went for avoiding failure. But when they make their mistake, they say to themselves, look, there's evidence I can't be a champion. There it is. I failed at that business. I lost that sale. I spoke up in a staff meeting and I said something, and it cost me. There it is. That's the reason I'll never be a champion. And then you go back and go, gosh, if somehow in my past I'd been greater, maybe today I could have been smarter. So if I only knew then what I know now, yeah, maybe my life would have turned out differently. That's not the way it works. Because I want to tell you what you already know and help you remember what you already have. Because therein lies the evidence that you already are a champion. Because it's just a recipe. It's just a strategy. It's just a mechanical process, the way your mind processes what happened to you yesterday. Champions process yesterday and go, woohoo, yeah, I'm closer. I'm one step closer to more greatness. It's the same mistake that everybody else made yesterday. It's just that they're closer. That's a recipe. That's not a truth. They could just as easily pull a recipe card out because they have those recipe cards too, that I'm a screw up, I'm a failure, I can't. And sometimes you will see them use that card. That's the most likely to succeed person from your high school class that's not doing well today. Because somewhere along the line of greatness, they pulled out the recipe card that says, yeah, not me. I can't. Not me. But even if you're an underdog, even if you're a scrapper, even if you're missing talent, missing gifts, missing skills, missing luck, missing everything, if the recipe card you pull, the strategy you pull is, I'm one step closer to my greatness. That's how you get to be a champion. The champion's philosophy. Doesn't have to be 7 strategies, 9 habits, 21 principles. That's it. Pick a recipe. Pick the strategy that I am going to be a champion, going to make magic this year. I have everything that I need to be magical this year. We're going to have a blockbuster day today. I've got one of my most powerful tools that I haven't talked much about coming up after the break. And we are going to be incredibly focused coming out of this show on how you can access and remember again how great you are, how great you already are.
Thank you for listening to the Inevitable Podcast. Please visit our website for more information on this extraordinary coaching system at www.theinevitableyou.com. Then, sign up for your 2-week free trial of our membership to gain access to hundreds of hours of amazing content and tools just like this. Now, back to Bill.
I want you to understand a couple of fundamental things. First of all, I always ask clients somewhere early in our progress, is the glass half full or half empty? I want you to think about it for you. Is it half full or is it half empty? And I'll tell them, now don't answer what you think it should be. Answer what it really is for you. Is the glass half empty or half full? Some people say half empty. Some people say half full. Some people are ashamed to say half empty, but they go, hey, you made me be honest. It's what it really is. But here's the truth. The glass is always both. It's always both. And what you experience of your life is based on your recipes and your abilities that you use to get to which side of the glass you live on. And if you're living on one side, know the other side always exists. And that is a binary condition of life. It's the duality of life. Whether you go Asian and consider it yin-yang, whether you go quantum and consider it on or off, whether it's the duality, half full, half empty, it doesn't matter. This binary way of looking at life is going to be a very critical piece of the tool I'm about to mention to you. Secondly, your brain and a computer are very, very exactly similar. That's more than like close. They're the same. How they work is very, very similar. So for those of you that have experienced any frustration with a computer, think of this. How many times have you been working on a program, your Outlook, Microsoft Word, any program, and it's been working fine, and then all of a sudden something happens. It stops working. Or it's corrupting something, or it's not doing what it's supposed to. It's half working. And it's frustrating you. It's making you mad. And sometimes you might even call technical support. And what's the first thing technical support always tells you about a computer? Did you reboot? Did you reboot your computer? And you go, no. Or you finally figured out, before I call tech support, I'm going to reboot the machine. So you sit there and wait for the machine comes up. And what happens 90% of the time? Yeah, it's working fine. It just needed a reboot. Now think of this. If your brain is a computer, why does a computer get one line of code corrupted? Why does that happen? I'm typing away 1 second and it's fine, and then all of a sudden it's corrupted. Do you know why your computer did that? Of course you don't. It's a mystery. It just happens. But here's the truth about you. When you have a line of code corrupted, when you're working fine one day, and maybe the planet burps, maybe something happens, maybe everything's fine and you just start screwing up. You don't say to yourself, it's a mystery as to what's going on. I'm just going to reboot myself. You'll sit there and go, I suck. I'm terrible. I'm not very good. I lack willpower. I'm a procrastinator. You'll start beating yourself up. If computer programs were as neurotic as humans, they wouldn't work either. But because they have no emotion, they have no judgment, you just reboot them. And then every once in a while, here's the next thing that happens. Tech support works and do this and look at that and what's in that field. Think of yourself laying on a therapy couch. Oh, my mother did, my father was, this happened. Tech support's working on you. Now, what will tech support tell you to do when they can't solve a problem? Yeah. Sorry, go find the disk. Go to the website. I hope you kept your registration code. You're just going to have to reload the software. There's something wrong. There is a permanently corrupted line of code in the software. You're just going to have to reload the software. So you reload Microsoft Office. So you reload a drawing program. You just put the software, you delete the old, and you put the new back on. And what happens? You work again. It's perfect again. You don't sit there and say, my computer's not as good as anybody else's computer. You don't sit there and go, the truth has been discovered. My computer sucks. It's worse than everybody else. You just reload the software, and guess what happens? Now, by the way, when you're laying on your therapy couch, does your therapist or counselor tell you, hey, it's a mystery why you're struggling right now. Let's just reload your software, and you'll walk out of here perfectly fine? Because they don't have tools that allow you to reload the software. Many of you out there are kind of chuckling to yourself because I've had you in client sessions and I see people chuckle to themselves, but then they go, ooh, how do I do that? How do I reload software? I'm not a computer. I can't sit here and eat a diskette or a CD. Or I can't go to an internet site and upload software and become a new me. Guess what? I have a secret for you. You can. You can reload software. And this tool I'm about to discuss with you will allow you to do it. It's called the I Choose Meaning software. This is one of the ways you can reload the software. I choose meaning. I began this segment with life is dual. For every half empty, there's half full. For every half full, there's half empty. You have to be aware of what the other side of the meaning is of that moment, because your brain will latch on to a moment and latch on to what that moment means. And counterintuitively, in those intense programming moments of life, yes, there's programming going on 24/7, but it's the really intense moments that will create a very intense program. And so it makes sense that if you think you're safe and you walk out into a parking lot and get mugged, you have an intense programming moment, you're not safe. You can think that you have a great business career going. When I was thinking that I was amazing and my crap didn't stink, and I had been 3 years in corporate life, and I just got another promotion in 1986, and I was flying, and I got laid off on December 5th. It was an intense programming moment. I'm sitting at home with no savings, no job, going and thinking in 1 second I was the king of the world, rising star, and 1 second later, a phone call shattered my holidays. Life will create intense programming moments. People will take what that moment means and they'll latch onto it. What you have to do is look at the other half of the meaning with authenticity, with truth. That's important. It's not just motivational mumbo-jumbo psychobabble crap. It's got to be authentic truth. But sometimes a coach can help you find the authentic truth that's on the other side of the pain. And when you do that, that is the reloaded software. And how you reload software as a human being, because you can't plug into the internet and download, you have the ability to reprogram yourself by what you say, what you think, what you focus on. So think of your mind as a DVD player. And do you put in the DVD that you win, or do you put in the DVD that you're screwed up? You can put the other DVD in. Now, if you put the other DVD in and you win, and then you immediately take that out and put in the other DVD and say, yeah, but I don't really win, I lose, you didn't put it in. You got to put the DVD back in that you win. You put the image, the thought, the feeling, the focus, the belief back into those mental images, those brainwave patterns, those thoughts. You can do that. You vision, you dream. But you have to dream or vision congruently, associate the other half of that meaning with truth, and then play that movie over and over again. You're going to play a movie. Pick which one that plays. You can play the movie of greatness, even if you don't believe it, because every time you play it, your mind will believe a little more what you're playing. So if you're playing a crappy movie and you play it 10,000 times, well, when you play a great movie 300 times, guess what happens? Your mind knows you're serious about changing. And when you do that, the program begins to reload itself. And for some of you, it's 3 times. For some of you, 300. And it doesn't matter if for you and this specific problem, it's 3,000 times. You're going to play something 3,000 times in the next 3 months. Pick the darn movie that you want to play.
Thank you for listening to the Inevitable Podcast. Please visit our website for more information on this extraordinary coaching system at www.theinevitableyou.com. Then, sign up for your 2-week free trial of our membership to gain access to hundreds of hours of amazing content and tools just like this.